So Marta here has come to the beautiful Catalonia and she's going to tour us her van, which has got super beautiful design, a really nice airy feel to it, and also actually quite a special kitchen. So enjoy.
My kitchen. I wanted quite a big kitchen because I love cooking, and I wanted it to have like a rustic feel like the rest of the van. So we used reclaimed wood boards. I didn't want it shiny, I didn't want to treat in too much, so it does have some type of treatment, but it looks quite natural and bare, which is the look I was going for. I have an oven because I love baking, so I make quite a lot of cakes. Which I haven't done this summer yet because it's been so hot in Spain, and obviously using the oven means the whole van gets really hot. And then I've got a lovely green waste, which I got the idea from Nate. I got a full size kitchen tap with an extendable head, which works really well when you're washing up because the actual basin is quite small. You don't get water everywhere. One of the nice features in the kitchen is this pull-out drawer. That's quite full. I have a brass backsplash, a hob with 2 burners, which actually are quite powerful. So it's a gas hob, which is powered from the GPL tank I have underneath the van, which I thought was a good idea because I didn't want to keep buying gas bottles and then and having to kind of, I don't know how big the gas bottles are, but my GPL tank lasts me probably about a month. So I have a Max fan in the kitchen, which is amazing. I really recommend it. I don't really use it as much when I'm cooking because I normally cook with the doors open, but in summer in Spain, if you have that on with my sky window open, the flow is amazing. I mean, you can feel the cold air coming in. So I would really recommend it. So water tanks, I have 80-litre water tank, which is just under the sink. And then I have an underslung 100-litre grey tank, which is really useful. I didn't used to have that before, and I used to have a 30-litre wheelie one, which wasn't good at all, because the whole idea of having an option, well, what I wanted was an option for it to go straight to the ground or into a grey tank, and that was what I ended up with, which wasn't really great because it meant when I was in a city or on a road where I couldn't let the water out, I'd have to walk around with the wheelie and pop it under, which made a lot of noise and also you could see it from outside. I have quite a big fridge. It's a Vitrifrigo fridge, Italian. I did want a big fridge because if I'm living in the van, then especially in hot countries, you do need somewhere to store most of your food. It also has a freezer, which is something I really wanted. It runs off 12 volt only. Yeah, so the fridge works until obviously you crash and you damage the solar panel. No, actually the fridge has worked all the way along because I have a split charge. And even though I was probably without a solar panel, or with a smashed solar panel, for 2-3 weeks, I was driving quite a lot because I was in Spain mainland, and my driving kept everything else going. So actually when I was building the van, I was chatting to a lot of female solo travelers who lived in vans, and they said number one important thing to think about was how do you escape when you have an emergency. So how would you get to the cabin? And some of them suggested putting a door in or a window, so I ended up putting this little window which I actually fit through, and to jump into the driver's seat and drive off. I actually had a near break-in in Mallorca a few weeks ago and I had to use it, and I know that it works really well. I never jumped as fast in my life to get out of there. So I also have heating system. for pecs. I think what everyone has in their vans, which obviously hasn't been working in Spain because the thermostat only goes up to 30 degrees and it's been probably about 35 to 40 in the van. But it'll be good to have now once I go back to the UK. I also have an inverter because I work from the van. I need to charge my laptop once a day. So a question I get asked a lot is, where is your bathroom? Obviously I don't have a room with walls, but I have a toilet that is here in this little box, and I also have an outdoor shower, which is a heated shower. Surprisingly, I haven't used the shower as much as I thought I would, because you always end up having showers at the beach or at a friend's house. And with regards to the bathroom, the toilet, I thought I'd be using the toilet less than I actually am, because at the beginning, like everyone says, you don't want to use it as much and you try to go outside, but then once you get into the routine of using it, it's actually quite comfortable to use and it's not that bad to empty and clean out. This is the shower. I actually got this idea from Nate, one of his videos, his latest van. He installed something very similar to this, and when I was in the midst of converting the van, I was told that we couldn't do something like that, and I was like, no, I'm sure we can. If Nate's done it, we can do it. You can only use it when this lid is actually open and the doors are open as well. These are my lights. I have 3 lights, and they're all on dimmers because I'm not too keen on really bright lights. And actually I don't use them as much as the little fairy lights. These fairy lights are really handy when you don't want too many people to see inside the van, or you don't want to put up the big thick curtains. In terms of storage, I have 2 shelves, one above the kitchen and one above the sofa. The one in the kitchen I have some jars, some cookbooks. The one above the sofa is normally was where I keep my books and candles, and I have a diffuser, actually, a USB diffuser, which I get asked a lot about. Because I have quite a stressful job, I like to put essential oils in the diffuser, so the van smells nice and it helps me relax. Above the other side of the sofa I have some cupboards. They are made with some Spanish wicker, and they have tables and medicine and all my toiletries and the rest. So underneath this sofa I have my wardrobe, which consists of 6 drawers, and that's all the clothes I have actually. I had to get rid of quite a lot when I moved in, but I realised that you actually don't need that much at all, especially in summer. We'll see now, winter time, how much I need. And then under this other sofa I have my paddleboard and all my snorkeling equipment, and on this side I have 2 batteries, which I think are 100, the heater and all the electrics. This is where I work from, and the dining table. I wanted something that that would move. I didn't want the research I'd done. A lot of camper vans just had a table that wouldn't move in the middle here, which meant that you wouldn't be able to walk past. So for me that was really important. I needed a big table to work, but at the same time be able to move it out of the way if I didn't need it and give me a little bit more space. So this is how I make the bed as well. So this table actually lowers down and sits on these bits of wood, and the sofa turns into 160 meter bed, 160 centimeters. Ta-da! This is my Moroccan puff ball, And I actually bought it empty because I thought, you know what, it's a great place to store puffer jackets or bedding. So I have most of my bedding in here, apart from above the cabin. So here I have my bottom sheets and pillows. I actually have 4 pillows, even though there's only 1 person in the bed normally. But I love to have loads of pillows. It's a bit like Mary Poppins' bag. There we go. There, empty. So above the cabin there's quite a lot of space, and I use it to put my duvet. I also have a few like tables up there, cushions. So I have a really big skylight above the dining area or the bed area, because I thought that's the only window that I'm going to have really open at night, and also I wanted to see the stars from my bed, which is amazing. So yes, this is one of the highlights of the van, this skylight. I would really recommend putting a big one in, because you get the ventilation, you get the views, and you get the light as well. I love mirrors. I've always had loads of mirrors in my room, in the house, and I thought, you know, for the van it'd be great to have quite a few mirrors. In Spanish it's called el juego de las luces, no? Which is when the light jumps off each other and just creates a really nice lighting in the van. So I get asked a lot how things stay in place in my van. Most of it actually doesn't move because I have double-sided Velcro. So the mirrors, the picture, the clock, the plant pot, actually the fruit bowl, all has Velcro on it. So it doesn't move when I'm driving. The only actually 2 things that I need to move or put away is the ladder and the small mirror that are not attached anywhere.
So Marta, how did you end up living in this beautiful van?
Through my ex-boyfriend. He introduced me to VANLIFE. Yeah, in Asturias actually. The north of Spain is very, very popular with camper vans. And I just thought, you know what? I need to have a camper van, either to rent out and use at weekends. Well, actually, mainly that was the purpose. And then COVID happened, and the build was we were mid through the build, halfway through the build, should I say? And I decided I was going to leave London and leave my accommodation there, and live in the van. And that's how I ended up here.
So you're working remotely, or how's that working for you?
So luckily, I can work remotely about 6 months a year pre-COVID, and obviously since COVID I haven't been to the office yet, so I have been working remotely. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So you're just
so
making it work, travelling around Spain for summer,
yeah,
and now you're on your way back
and
to
now
the UK.
On my way back to the UK, probably spend a few months there, and hopefully head down to Portugal for December, January time.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good way to get out of the worst part of the British winter.
Yes, it seems like that's what a lot of full-time van lifers, van lifers, do. They head to the north for summer and then south for the winter.
Pretty much the way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for showing us around this really beautiful van.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you who are watching it enjoy that, and we'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed that content. If you hadn't noticed, we do have an ebook that we sell, and the link is just in the description. It contains 160 pages crammed full of practical advice, walkthrough information, electronic schematics and part lists, which will make your job a lot easier for doing a van conversion, and it will save you time and money. Also, we've created special videos for the ebook which enable you to see walkthroughs for how to do loads of things in a van conversion. So that's for water systems, for your electrics, for how to do simple woodwork joints that anyone can do. I really believe that anyone, regardless of their experience, can make a half decent van conversion. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you watching our content, and we put a lot of effort to make it interesting, informative, and find those cool projects that feature on our channel. Consider subscribing, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.